Hey, what's going on, guys? It's White Gaming, back again with some more Survive the Nights. And today what we're going to be doing is pretty simple. We are going over Survive the Nights 1.10. So this is sort of a showcase of all of the new major features that are in this update. This update is one of the biggest quality of life updates to the game to date. There's a whole host of new stuff. Swimming, new help sort of inventory menu, so lots more help for those newer players, which is absolutely amazing. It's what a lot of people want, and it should hopefully keep the player base in a lot more. One thing as well that I do want to mention before we get into the video is that Survive the Nights is on sale at the moment, so definitely go check that out. It's 60% off. What have you got to lose, right? It's cheap as chips. Go check it out. It's over on Steam. The sale ends in October, so you've still got a couple of days to get on it. Now, if you're a fan of Survive the Nights and all things zombies, please subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and it helps us a lot. Drop a like on the video if it helps. Let's get into it and show you the new features of 1.10. So one of the first things that you are going to be noticing is this music in the background. It's pretty damn cool. I like it. I like the added music. It just makes it that little bit more eerie. It's on in the main game as well. It goes on. Although when you first start, definitely turn it right down. I've got mine at like 10%. The music is very, very loud as opposed to everything else. But it's a nice touch. It just makes, especially the loading screen, just feel a little bit more like, you know, fluid. And it's just something different. It's quite nice. We like it. It's good. It's very good. So the next thing, a very big thing as well now, is the starting sort of menu. It's very cool. I like it. It's got not this. So a very big thing now. The biggest part of this update, I would say, is starting out. So now you have a guide, which is brilliant. As you can see in the top left hand corner, it's pretty simple. You know, it's going to help those new players so much. It's just fluid. It'll get you straight into the game, and you're not really going to be sort of wandering around helplessly like you were back in the day when the game first started. So it really is a nice touch. It's completely different. So we're going to go through a couple of little bits of it, and alongside some of the other main features. Let's get a campfire started. Heal by standing near the campfire. So next up, we've got to search the area for scrap metal. So beforehand, obviously nothing was highlighted either, which was really difficult because you didn't know what you needed to actually search. It was just winging it, running up to something and pressing the search button. Now you don't have that issue. It's brilliant. So much better. As you can see in the right hand side as well, it's a very detailed look. And then you can go into these bits here, which will bring up a much more in-depth look at what you need to do. So once again, for those newer players, you go through all of this, it's going to show you almost every little aspect that you need, especially just to get you started. And some really simple stuff is in here, like harvesting, fires, and then you've got advanced fires. But crafting and advanced are definitely two things that will help new players, alongside cooking. I like that. It looks good. I don't know what language it is, but it's beautiful. And then just sleeping bags, electrics. A lot of it is very simple. Electrics is just A. Is this Canadian electrics? A. The bandages, hordes. There's loads of little random bits that will just help newer players get straight into the game, and it'll feel more fluid when you're doing so. So that's always a good thing, right? The one problem that I really had when I first started was it was just difficult. I didn't know what I was doing, but you do get the hang of it. I've been playing the game pretty much solid continually for nearly 3 years now, so I've got pretty good at it. I'm quite a pro, if I say so myself, and it looks easy and it feels easy to me. But obviously when you're just starting out, that isn't there, and that can turn a lot of players away. So I'm glad that they've introduced this whole new help system which will really keep a lot of players engaged. We'll go through a couple of the little bits of it, and then move on to some other funky stuff that we've got. There's so many new things on this that we're not going to go over every single part of it, because there's some little bits on it that are really cool that would be good for people to find themselves. But for the main stuff, all the bigger, bulky stuff like weapon times and cleaning and all of that kind of stuff, we'll go through all of that. We'll get to the first few little bits where we've got to get a house fortified and all of that, and then we'll do some other stuff. So we've got to craft a wooden club next. Pretty simple, right? Easy. Crafting. So club. Oh, I can't spell either. It's a club. There we go. Right, we've got a club. So if we get that, bang, easy. So equip the club. See, the good thing as well about this is I didn't even know that you could do this, and this isn't a new thing apparently. Apparently you've always been able to set fire to clubs. How true that is, I don't know. But yeah, apparently it's, you've always been able to do it, which I think is really, really cool. So we've got to craft a compass and find a map in a bus shelter or a shop, which pretty simple to do. If you're a new player and you're watching this, then follow the path up to the road. So the camps that you have all have little pathways that will lead you to a main road. And then just follow that either left or right, depending on which way you want to go, and eventually you will come across either a town, a house, or a bus stop. There's always something around, and it's pretty easy to find. There we go. And we've just unlocked a new achievement as well. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. So I don't see any bus stops looking distance. So what I'm going to do is go find one, and then we'll come back and continue with the tutorial. So we didn't even have to run too far. As you can see over there, that little green and white shack over there, that is actually a bus stop. So we'll run into that, we'll get our map and compass going, and then I'm pretty sure the next part is to find a building and set up camp. So we'll do that, which is another absolutely amazing feature of 1.10. The camp, well, not the sort of setting up of a home point. Something that I really like, and I don't know why it wasn't done sooner, but I like that it has been done. I think it's very, very cool. Right, so we need to get some scrap metal. We need 3 for a compass. So this is just old rubbish, I believe. I don't think we'll find scrap metal in here. Oh no, we found 1. Okay, that's not bad. Aha, perfect. Oh, that's an actual truck. I thought it was a scrap truck. It looks like a bag of crap. I think finding scrap metal will probably be the harder part of crafting a compass. But we should be alright. It should be fairly simple. A couple of post boxes and a couple of vehicles and bish bash bosh were there. So we got our scrap metal. It is now time to craft a compass, which will bring up one of the next big features of 1.10, and that is the compasses. There are no longer 2 separate compasses. Now we only have 1. It is not a cheap compass anymore. It is just one standard good compass, which can be made for 3 scrap metal. So then when you open the map, the difference now is it comes up pretty much instantly, and you can see just there is actually an arrow. Now with this arrow, it is so much better because you can see which way you're facing. So you move around, and zooming in and out is so much quicker now as well. 1 or 2 actual rolls of your mouse rather than 7 or 9, and it's quite good. I like as well that we've actually got a visible marker, so you can see where you're going now. You don't have to be running around like a madman trying to figure it out, which is quite nice. Alongside that, they have changed some of the text. They've changed it to, I think it was American typewriter, so a lot of people probably won't notice it, but it's just a nice little touch. Some matching fonts, which is quite cool. There we go. What have we got next then? So we have to press F to view our stats. And now what we need to do is find a structure, place a sleeping bag to call it our home. Another brilliant thing that I didn't mention about the information that we're getting, so the help and the guide, is that as you're running around, it will just randomly pop up on the right hand side. Just a small hint or a big hint depending on what you're doing. So it will help you with that current task that you've got going on. It will give you either a way to do it better, or say if you're eating something, it will pop up and tell you that hunting will provide a more nutritional food. So every little aspect of the help system now is built to aid you and make you a better player. Especially if you're a newer player and there's a lot of things you don't know, it will really, really boost your skill at the game, which is good. It will keep you alive for a lot longer, and hopefully you'll be able to see and do a load of new things. Right, so we've got a home up in front. There we go. We've got harvesting that's just popping up. It's quite cool. I like it as well. It doesn't stay for too long, and then it disappears. And it's just a short video. And then you can press escape as well if you want to get rid of it instantly without having to wait for the it to disappear itself. Oh, why is it going? There we go. Wrong button. Yep, just hold escape. Oh, so there's sleeping bags in there. So somebody has already been here. Well, there's nobody on the actual server, so strange. I'm playing on a public server at the moment because I couldn't get my my restart to come up and actually work. So there we go. There's another sleeping bag there. I'm not going to pick up people's sleeping bags because I don't know whose they are. I don't want to be stealing people's things. So there we go. Right, let's craft this sleeping bag. And bish bash bosh. There we go. So we have a sleeping bag. Let's place that down. And now that will make this our home location. When we place the sleeping bag down. Let's place it behind the sofa. You don't want to sleep out in the open, do you? You'd want to sleep in a little corner. And now all we need to do is survive until sunrise. We're not going to do that as a standard horde. We all know what the hordes do. That's been a long time feature. Now, the big difference between that, though, is now that is our home point. Which I think it will stop the zombies spawning. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. But I am fairly certain it does stop zombies spawning on your location. Let's get in here quick. There we go. So because it's been set as an actual home, this person is pretty sweet. This guy is loaded up. I like what they've done here. This is very, very cool. Very cool. Right, let's get out of here anyway. I'll leave this guy's stuff alone. So now we need a zombie to kill us, just so I can show you how that all works. There's a key difference here between the hardcore and the standard game mode. So the standard game mode, we can place those bags, those sleeping bags, like I just have done. But on hardcore, you cannot do that. Hardcore still uses the same spawn method as 1.9 or any version before that, which it just makes that game a little bit harder. So it's a good thing, right? It is good. It is good. Let's let this guy come and beat you down, shall we? And we'll show what he does. Let me set him on fire. Damn shame. There we go. So now respawn. We have near death or home. The only thing is, home you only have 20 seconds to pick it. If you don't pick it on time, then it will just cancel that option out, and you'll either respawn at the random location near your death, or that's it. So there is another new feature, a much requested feature, an amazing feature that I don't know why wasn't in the game from the beginning. Even the devs said, we're sorry, it's something that was needed, and it's something that has changed the playability of the game so much. It just makes things so much better. Especially when you're around the rivers and all these areas. It's a beautiful feature. Most of you may know what I'm talking about, and may have been waiting for this feature for so long. It's amazing. Just look at it. That feature is swimming. It's so good. We can swim underwater as well. Look at that animation. Look at that frog. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I love it. I think the swimming is absolutely amazing. Now, the way it works is pretty simple. It runs on stamina. Where's the surface? Why am I swimming up? Swim up, dude. There we go. So it works on stamina. And if you run out of stamina, you will start to sink and then drown. Same as when you're under the water, you will start to hear your breath gulp I think that may need a little bit of tweaking. I think it'd be a little bit better if it was more prominent, because you don't really notice it. Well, I've found anyway that you don't really notice it until you're already drowning. So by that point, you're already losing health. I think it would be nice if you had that little gulp, maybe 3, 4, 5 times before you start losing health. So then you've got a clear cut, you know, time. Right, your shit is running out. Get to the surface now, sort of thing. But yeah, it works. It's pretty cool, and it will change things quite a bit, especially running from hordes and stuff. I don't know how that's going to work with hordes. It may, obviously, if you're in the water, then they probably won't follow you. It's just going to end up being a bit of a ooh-ah, and then you'll get a penalty for trying to avoid the horde. Same as you would as climbing on top of fences and that kind of stuff. Which, you know, fair enough, it works. It's plain and simple. I don't see the need of making zombies swim. I don't think that'll be I don't think there's much point in it, to be honest, because there's not that much water. I mean, if you're building bases on lakes and there's boats and stuff, maybe, but at this time I don't think it's really needed. So another feature, it's a very small and very subtle one, but it was needed and it looks so much better. That is in the bottom left hand corner, as you can see. Simple, pops up, it's easy. It's not a difficult one at all. You can read it. The only thing that I have trouble with is when you are looking up to the sky. It can be a little bit hard to read, depending on what you're doing. That's just my eyes, though. I like it on a darker background. It has got, as you can see there, a sort of darkness behind it. So when you are over lighter objects like the sky, you can read it a little bit better. But my old eyes are shot. It's a simple change, but it's a better change. It's a good change, and it's something that I like, and I'm sure a lot of people, especially if you're playing in groups, will like that as well. So there are a whole host of smaller other changes as well. There's one more big one, and that is weapon reload animations. It's a simple one, but it's quite effective. Now, as you can see in the background here, we've got quite a few little things that have changed. So the weapon reloads are a little bit cooler than what they were, and alongside that weapon cleaning, the speeds have improved on some weapons upwards of 40%. So it's quite a big change. I mean, 4 seconds may not seem like much, but when you're in a horde and it is life and death, those 4 seconds will really, really count. It's going to help you a lot, especially if you're running around trying to avoid the zombies and clean your gun at the same time on a hardcore horde night. It's going to be a big, big improvement. And then a load of other little fixes are... There's loads of other little ones. We're going to go over just a couple of them, a couple of the main ones, and then the rest is things that we've covered before. So we're not going to go too deep into any of that kind of stuff. So one very cool little feature that will help in combat as well as the faster reloads and all that stuff is they've added what is called a last stand sort of thing. And what that does, quite simply, if you watch the health on the left-hand side, as you can see, it's going down by 8 or 9 at a time. Now, what this last stand does is that final blow, regardless of your health, will leave you with 1. So you can try and run away. As you can see there, it didn't work. I got my ass handed to me. But that is the sort of gist of it. It leaves you with that 1 health, so you can... Fight or flight will kick in, and you can either run away and save that 1 health if you get away. Which... chances are, if you're already having your ass beaten, you're probably not going to get away. But you never know. You might actually make it, and if you do, fair play to you. Or you could go gun-ho and, you know, stab a few zombies in the head, and if it works, great. But you're going to need some meds with you, because you're not going to get very far on 1 health. So, for these final few little bits, I haven't got much in the way of footage for them because there's not really much to show. But zombie fixes, mainly like zombies getting stuck and not doing what they need to do, is something that's been addressed, which is really good, and it will help a lot. especially when you want to run around and actually kick some ass and they get stuck. It can make things really, really easy on you, but at the same time it can be a little bit annoying. Now, there have been a few changes to crafting as well. Nothing major. It's just that parts to make traps are no longer need to be made on a workbench, which is pretty cool. That will help you out, especially if you're in a bit of a rush. You only need the workbench for the full actual item now, which is good. And then with the nutrition, so your food values and things like that, cans will no longer give you as much of your liquid as what they used to. So you're going to need to keep a canteen of water or energy drink on you to keep you going, because cans are not going to be as effective as they were. They were giving you 40 to 50% of your liquid needs. Now they don't. They only give you around 2 to 3. So yeah, hydration is going to be a difficult one. But other than that, that's pretty much it. There's not really too much. There's loads of little random things, but nothing that you won't really make much of a difference. But it's cool. You'll notice a few little random bits, which is good. They're mainly just side options and things just to make the environment and the gameplay seem a little bit more smooth. So some things you might not actually notice that are new, which is cool. I like it when games do that. They add just those little tweaks that you won't notice now, but in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time, you'll be playing and you go, that's cool. I've never noticed that before. And I like it when a game does that. I think that's a really cool little thing. But for today, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from me anyway. I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know what your favourite part about Survive the Nights 1.10 is and what you're looking forward to in the future from the game. I've been Wired. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching. Peace.